All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of the 50-50. Okay, so if you guys are maybe a fan of like sport jiu-jitsu right now, of course heel hooks are still a big thing, but specifically attacking from the 50-50 has become a popular trend. I'm not really sure if it's so much as far as like because of it's really effective or just because it's another trendy technique being made popular, maybe due to the fact that people don't really train in the position or understand how to deal with it. And that's kind of our aim for this video today, is for those of you that are like more intermediate players and have never had an introduction to what the 50-50 position is and don't really understand the attacks or the threat of it or how to deal with it. This is the video where we're going to be covering all of that. Okay, so let's talk about the 50-50 position. It's called the 50-50 because the position's like basically identical, both my partner and I here. Okay, so what's popular right now? So again, in the 50-50, it's basically like we're locking a triangle like around each other's legs here. Okay, now in theory, like I think if you come from a more traditional standpoint, which strategically it would make sense, is you don't really want to attack from a 50-50 position because it's a 50-50 position. So meaning like a majority of what jiu-jitsu is about is finding positions of leverage where it's not equal. So for example, like if I were to mount Nate, that position is not a 50-50. I have the leverage in that position. If I were to take his back, again, I have the leverage. Nate is at a disadvantage. What's interesting now is that people are choosing to develop a game around fighting in a 50-50. And although there's, of course, value in everything, it can be risky for a couple things. So before I show the risk, let me show kind of like how people are trying to attack the legs here, because that's what everyone's kind of worried about. So basic 50-50 heel hook, right, is if I have my legs locked here, I'm going to attack basically the inside here. And the way people are doing it, whether they sweep into the position, right, they're going to be chopping their heels to the ground, rotating the hips to the ceiling, and then bridging into the knee. That's like the basic 50-50 heel hook, right? Then you have like more advanced entanglements here where the leverage is a little bit better and it's less of a 50-50 position, right? Where they start maybe bringing the legs across in this direction and finishing, okay, on the side here. So more on the side, like bridging into the hips. Guys like Craig Jones are known for that a lot. And then you also have positions like the backside 50-50. So if Nate like jumps over, right, and then I finish the 50-50 heel hook, okay, from the backside like this. Okay, so all those stem from the 50-50, but those last two entanglements, I wouldn't really consider those 50-50 positions. Really, it's the person attacking gets a slight edge, so they shift their hip. So let's understand how we can gain an advantage when we're in this entanglement. So if I chose to play that game, right, to be in this fire, to attack the heel hook, the way I make this so it's not completely even is if I shift my hip inside towards the lock here. Okay, the more I keep my hips like this, it's still a 50-50 position. Nate can still attack my heel as well here. So the moment, one, I hide my lock or I hide my heel by locking my feet, okay, also prevents him from attacking the ankle lock on this side, okay, here. So if I lock my legs and I'm able to rotate so that my hips are facing the inside, I will always have the advantage, a slight positional advantage. Increases even more if I can get this leg all the way across here. Okay, so but today, like I said, I didn't really want to. You guys can find a million other videos talking about 50-50 heel hooks. Like I said, it's a trending technique or subject right now. But really what I want to talk about is how to not even really fight in this position. So I learned a lot of this from Hoffa Mendes at my time at AOJ. And to me, it still seems logically, it just seems more efficient. When you're in a position where it's balanced, right, you just try to raise your hips and find leverage in the position. Basically, get out of a 50-50. Like if I were to fight Nate and we're in a fist fight, do I want to stay in the pocket or do I want to hit him from range and then bounce in and out where I'm safe, and then when I want to go, I go, right? Again, the way that we can do that, instead of rotating into Nate. So if I want to be a heel hooker, right, and I want to attack the legs, I want to start rotating into him. But if I want to just free myself from the position and prevent that battle, it's all about rotating this knee in here like this. So if Nate locks, as soon as I feel this entanglement, this hand's pulling up on the knee, and the only heel hook happens is if my toes are facing my partner. So what we have to do in the very beginning is turn my foot like this, and I actually punch my leg deeper through while I'm cupping the leg here. Okay, now from here, I'm gonna look to build height with my hips, because as I start to build height with my hips, this is no longer a 50-50 position. Now I'm leading the dance here. Okay, it's a lot harder for Nate to start attacking, okay, the heel hook from this position. Yes, there's options, right? Maybe for more advanced students, right? Well, he'll try to pass the leg across and still attack here. Or maybe he'll try to roll over the top, okay? Or try to underhook through. But notice how the way my base is, okay? If I were to come straight up with my toes facing forward, okay, this makes underhooking the far leg much easier. And then now he can sit me back down and then re-expose the heel here. If I come up like this again, he can swing me back this way. Again, sweep me, expose the heel. But if I punch my leg and point my toes out as I pull on the leg, okay, lock your legs. So as soon as I get in this position like this, my base is so much harder to try to sweep or re-attack because my hips are too far. Okay, so once you guys build that base, the next thing we're gonna look to do, okay, is build up to our toes, and I'm trying to underhook both legs like this. As soon as you guys get to this position, pretty much all the threats of the heel hook are gone, because I'm already compromising Nate's entanglement here, right? His ability to stay hip to hip is blocked now by my arm. Does that make sense? So again, if I don't have the arm, he can still stay attached to my hip. Basically all leg locks, the power comes from being able to keep the hips connected. So as soon as I underhook here, okay, it compromises the lock. Now from here, I just keep looking to build my base, and this is very important. Again, we're not gonna go forward. This is a huge mistake. Never do that, okay? What you wanna do is build up like this, bladed, okay? And then now from here, okay, look, I'm just gonna keep walking. Let's, okay, from here, I'm just gonna keep walking, and I just lean over here. At this point, Nate kind of needs to make a move here, right? He can't, there's nothing he can really do to attack, so he needs to let go of the position. If he doesn't, so let's play it out. If he does let go, I'll be able to split the legs, okay? And then now get my knees to the floor and I'm out. If he doesn't, let's just say he's just trying to stall out and buy some time, okay? He's waiting here, okay? So I can't free the lock. Nate's not releasing. Okay, what you can do is drop back to your knee. I'm gonna wedge my knee, okay, right here into the lock. Now I get my foot across. Now if he wants to get any heel hook, there's two frames in the way. There's my knee and Nate's leg. And now I can start looking to fall to the side and start splitting open the legs here. Okay, from here you guys can just simply come up into a leg drag. Or if you still want a leg lock, okay, when I fall to that side, you guys can start rolling through and start attacking the legs as well. Again, the whole idea is that don't fight from a position that's 50-50. Find a way to gain positional leverage, and then you start attacking. That's the whole point. That's why we do jiu-jitsu. That's why we take down someone in a fight, is so we can get positional leverage. So again, to overview here, as soon as you guys get into a 50-50 position, you have to choose what way of attack, or which direction are you trying to go. Are you going to try to attack the legs? If you're trying to attack the legs, you guys need to first lock your feet, okay? First lock your feet, and then look to rotate into your partner. Get that hip down. this will now favor you, especially if you can get this leg across, okay? But generally, you want to have the bite before you do that. So again, if I want to play that game, the way I get positional leverage is turning all the way into him, okay? If I want to, again, advance my position to where, okay, I have hip height, a little bit safer for me, which is what I would recommend, especially if you're a beginner to the position. What I would recommend is standing up or building height. So instead of turning in, I turn away, but I punch my foot and turn my foot out. Now we look to build up here. Once we build up, we're looking to underhook the legs here. And again, here is all about patience. You guys can feel this with your partner. It's actually very hard for Nate to do anything to retangle from this position. Now it's just about building up, walking, and I'm looking to split the legs here. Okay, step over. Now I'm past. Or if my partner's being stubborn and they're just stalling out, keeping the lock, I'll sit back to my butt and I'm gonna put this knee right in between our hips here. And it might not fall perfect right there, but the idea is that I'm gonna start falling back and using my knee as a wedge to clear my foot. Now from here, you guys can come up, stack pass. You guys can come up leg drag, or you can re-attack the legs. You can be creative and find ways to re-attack the legs. Okay, so that's the basic idea. I would say, like I said, get comfortable with that pathway. Building height with your hips. Again, we're not coming here, that's dangerous. We stay bladed, okay, and slowly build our way up, put weight on that foot. Okay, once you guys get comfortable with that, then I would say start exploring attacking the legs, rotating into them. Again, when you look at, okay, what's gonna be more high percentage in all forms of grappling, like even in MMA or self-defense, of course, building hip height. Okay, you see it time and time again, guys trying to attack the legs in MMA is a bad idea, right? You're gonna get hit. Again, another reason why I think history, like people drifted away from the position. Because again, like if you're talking about self-defense, like I could start smashing. If he decides to start attacking my heel, even with the good entanglement, boom, right? Like there's nothing he can do to prevent me. Maybe this way is a little bit better. Okay, here, he can still keep some distance, but the other thing too is I could use my hands. I could start pulling on his head. Again, the idea would be fundamentally, you don't want to be in positions like this where your partner can still battle you, right? We want to find that advantage. And I think building hip height is the best way to go in the beginning. Cool, guys. So that's just a little bit of the 50-50. Again, we didn't want to show too much. There's a lot on this position, but I think having a baseline understanding of the directions you can go and choosing which one you think best suits your game, or really you have to know both, but as long as you guys know what you're giving up and where you have the advantage. All right, guys, as always, if this was helpful, please let us know. Share this with a friend. Leave us a comment with anything you guys want to see next, or again, let us know if this content is helping you guys out. And as always, if you guys can to support our channel, please like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.